Holy fuck! Man, it's a big week. What is up?
Yes, it is.
We're here. I think it's episode 7 or 6. I don't fucking know anymore. On the Bobo Pod, we have my former roommate. We actually shared the same master bedroom for like 2 years. And we're not going to get into many stories about that, but let's just say it was a struggle. Welcome, Fitz. Welcome, Fitz.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? I'm so excited to be here, ready to give everyone the content that they want and deserve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you guys are wondering, that's my dinosaur. His name is Jeff.
What's up, Jeff? How are we doing tonight?
He cures any sort of anxiety that I much have. And this week, my anxiety's been through the roof for obvious reasons, and I think we're going to get to that soon. So Fitzy is a Chicago Bears fan, and I'm in Chicagoland now. Bears, White Sox, Blackhawks, and Notre Dame, correct? Am I missing a team?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, my room has got Notre Dame stuff all over it, so definitely a big Chicagoland area football fan.
Yeah, and I fucking hate Notre Dame, so there you go. So we're gonna start. Go Big Blue. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna start off by we're gonna talk about the Bears first. So Fitz, I bet Bears plus what was it 7 on Sunday. I thought it was an L word, an LOCK. Barstool was hyping it up. I did not go to the thing at the casino that they had because I got out of work at fucking 4:30 in the morning. So we're going to start off with the most broad question. What do you do with Justin Fields? How would you coach him?
Well, the funniest part is about that. My dad, so me and him are in a last man standing league through some guy from his work. And he texted me. He's like, yo, who you taking this week? I was like, I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think they're going to win. Luckily they did. And he texted me. He's like, I'm taking the Browns. And I just sent him a laughing emoji. I was like, it's sad, but it's true. I mean, let's say Justin Fields plays out of his mind. They don't have enough talent on that team. And also, #fire Matt Nagy. Good Lord. I mean, I watched a lot of content this week because I knew after his first start, there was going to be a lot of reactions to it, obviously. And I saw a lot of people saying that, like, Matt Nagy either hates Justin Fields and wants him to not succeed and prove that Andy Dalton was the right starter for week 1, or he's just a terrible fucking head coach. And I think it's the latter. Honestly, they should get rid of him. And the GM, Ryan Pace, they had their chance. I mean, they knew what the team was looking like coming into the season. Their offensive line sucks, like big time, obviously. I mean, you see Myles Garrett getting 4.5 sacks in a game. That should not happen. 9 total in the whole game. 9. Like, good God. No plan. Absolutely zero execution. And at this point, they got to clear house.
So my opinion on the Bears, and I've said it many times, it's a win-win for Justin, right? If he does great, that's awesome, right? If he's amazing, somehow wins Rookie of the Year, which he's probably not going to. I think that's going to go to Micah Parsons. That's amazing. If he sucks or the team sucks like they did on Sunday, it's a win. Matt Nagy's gone. Ryan Pace, get the fuck out of Chicago. Okay? It all started with your dumb ass Mitch Trubisky pick. All right? The MVP, right? Over Patrick fucking Mahomes. The $50 million a year, $500 million man. What the fuck are you doing? Right? And I completely agree with you, Fitz. Fuck the upper management in Chicago right now. This franchise is way too good and has way too much history to see your fucking GM just put everything down the toilet. Okay? Now, do you think they will fire Matt Nagy mid-season?
I think this week is huge for them. Okay, so they're playing the Lions. The Lions are 0-3, but from what I've seen from them, they went down early against the 49ers in week 1, came back, covered the spread, almost won the game. They showed some grit under Dan Campbell, which not surprising considering his character and his emotions. And then I watched them on Monday Night Football against the Packers. They were leading at halftime. They played pretty well for most of that game. And then eventually Aaron Rodgers does what he does. So I'm not going to put that on them. I think this week they are so hungry coming after the record-setting field goal kick at the end of the game, which literally had to go off the bottom of the field goal post to even go in. I think that they are going to be fired up. They know that this is a close game. Not going to lie, I made a couple parlays this weekend. I took the Lions money line in one of the games because either money line or plus 2.5, because I think they're more motivated. I think nobody on the Bears even cares half the time. I mean, obviously they're professional football players. They care, but like they know that their coaching staff is just in shambles. Matt Nagy, nobody trusts him. And I don't see them getting it done this weekend. I think the Lions are going to come out firing and get the dub. I hate to say it, but
yeah. And we're going to get to our picks of the week after my next question about the Bears. So it was in the news this week that Arlington Heights is going to get has the rights now to the Bears stadium, right? I believe the Bears have a contract for the next like 6 to 7 years or something like that in downtown Chicago. And what I've seen in downtown Chicago is the stadium is in a shit location. Yes, it's right on the water. It's cool, right? But it's kind of it looks like it's kind of hard to tailgate. Like if you're coming in for the suburbs, you got to Metro in and then you got to Uber there, and it's just like this one big mess. I've been to Arlington Heights before. My coworker lives there. It's beautiful. It's literally 5 minutes away from his house, and he was joking around the other day saying, "Yo, we could literally just tailgate at my house when the Bears are at home." So, you having family in Chicagoland, I don't know how far away they are from Arlington Heights, but do you like the move out of the city and into the suburbs?
Yeah, so I was reading up on this yesterday, and I believe that the Bears will stay in Soldier Field till 2033.
Holy shit.
I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that is when their agreement ends. So this is obviously big news. I mean, Arlington Heights, as you know, is not in the city at all. It is probably 45 minutes from central Chicago. Now, the thing is about this, they buy this whole plot of land and it's a suburb. So there's still room for the area to grow. And what I envision them doing, I mean, as you know, sports betting is legal in Illinois. So I think they're going to go, obviously, the SoFi Stadium, Allegiant Stadium route, make a crazy brand new state-of-the-art stadium with a sports book, obviously built into the stadium, with restaurants, hotels, shopping, all around it, and basically create a new hub. And then I would almost guarantee that if they do that, they would end up hosting a Super Bowl, which is probably like the reason why they would do all of that in the first place.
100%.
So my biggest question is, I want to get your take on this too. Will they keep it an open air stadium? Obviously, the windiness is majorly affected by their location right next to the lake currently.
Yep.
Obviously, it's still windy overall in the Midwest because that's just how it is. So do you think they'll keep it open air, or do you think that if they're going to host a Super Bowl, they're probably going to need a dome because that game goes on in February? And guess what? You never know what the weather is going to be like in February in Chicago.
So this is my take on that. So when New York got the Super Bowl, or technically New Jersey had the Super Bowl 48, I want to say, Super Bowl 48, when the Broncos got blown out by the Seahawks, it was a gift from God in New Jersey in February. It was like 50 degrees outside, clear skies, everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
When Minnesota got the Super Bowl, when New England lost to Philly, there was, closed dome, but it was cold. But there's a lot more to do in Chicago than there is in fucking Minnesota, right? So
yeah, of course.
There's going to be it's going to be a retractable roof. It's going to look sexy, right? Fans from the suburbs which is most of them, because a lot of the old heads, they moved out to the suburbs when they have families or whatever. It'll be great for them. And I'm excited for this because, yes, you bring up SoFi, you bring, how it's in the suburbs. Look at Orchard Park. That's a solid 20-minute drive away from the city of Buffalo. And their fans love it. I mean, you've been to the grass lot before, right?
Yeah.
It's a fucking
I honestly
party.
think it helps when you're not in the downtown area because you're not necessarily constricted by everything else that is there. Yep. Like exactly, Orchard Park. They have the area to be able to have massive parking lots. There's bars and shops and stuff all around it. It's not, there's never like, it's the traffic could be way worse if it was in the downtown area, but since you're in Orchard Park, there's that many different ways you can go and stuff. So yeah, I think moving as much as I hate to say it, like, cause I've been to Soldier Field, I've been to the Field Museum there, and it's awesome. It's a great place, but the reality is it's the smallest stadium in the entire NFL. Mm-hmm. And the Bears are supposed to be like one of the historic franchises, supposedly have the best team of all time. It's like, you can, if you want to be like the owners, if they want to make the most money, they can't keep operating in that space. And I hate to say it, but it's just how it goes these days.
And I completely agree. I'm excited to see them lay down the groundwork for it. So personally, say if the stadium was built right now, I would have to metro. So the way the metro works is, you've been in the metro rail before, right?
Yeah.
So I would have to metro in from Naperville to the city, and then I would have to metro out. But like, it's so much better, like into Arlington Heights, but it's so much better doing that because you don't got to really have as much expensive Ubers or whatever. But moving on to the second topic, picks of the week. I will start with my picks, and Fitz, you go with yours. So I have the Chiefs -7 versus the Eagles off a loss. I think the Eagles are going to get absolutely annihilated. It's in Philly. I get it, but the Eagles freaking stink, right? Mahomes is pissed off, right? I think that he's going to light him up. I think it's going to be like 49-10 or something like that. And Jackson Mahomes, if you think you're going to have a TikTok, post the damn TikTok in Philly.
He's getting his ass beat.
In Philly, you might die. You won't actually die. I'm not going to put that out in the air, but you will get harassed. You will get harassed. Sure. It is Philly. They throw snowballs at Santa Claus. Okay? If it's week 1 and their team is down by 3, they will still boo that. They will still boo their own team. They are the most ruthless, and I think they are the dumbest fans in all of sports, and I will stick to that. Fitz has known this since he's known me. I've had this opinion. I think they're the dumbest fans in all sports. But that's a different conversation for a different time. Then I have the Lions +2.5 versus the Bears. The Lions covered last week. I had them in my Hungry Dogs parlay, and they are due for a win. I have the Browns money line versus the Vikings. The reason why is I think the Browns can win these trap games now. I think they're at that point with the growth in their team where they don't lose these type of games. And then I like the Broncos +1 against the Ravens at home. I really do. I think it's going to be a close game. Very close game, down to the wire, right? The Ravens are injured on offense. The Broncos defense is great. And they have an amazing secondary with Surtain and your boy Fuller, who I think is a very underrated signing for the Denver Broncos this offseason. Von Miller won AFC Defensive Player of the Month this past year. The Broncos are back when it comes to defense. Drew Lock, Not Drew Lock. Sorry, Teddy Bridgewater. Right. I think he's the best game manager in all of football right now. And you know what? Fuck the media for saying game managing is a bad job, bad thing to have. You get paid being a game manager. Okay. Look at freaking Kirk Cousins. Right. Is Kirk Cousins in elite category? No, but he does enough to get paid. And I think that's what Mac Jones will get in like 4 years. So what is your picks of the week?
So the way I do my bets on Sundays, I like to make a 3-team parlay for the 1:00 games.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do a 3-team parlay for the 4:00 or Sunday night football games. So in the early slate, I got the over in the football team versus Falcons game. I just think, football team's defense was supposed to be one of the best in the league. As you saw last week against the Bills, it is not that. And I think the Falcons will somewhat come alive and resurrect themselves somewhat. So in that same parlay, I got the Lions plus 2.5. Like I mentioned before, I think they're sadly going to win that game. And then I took the Titans -7. I think they're due for like a breakout massive win. So I took them. And then in the 4:00 late slate, I took the over in the Cardinals-Rams game. Two high octane offenses. I think the 4:05 start time, they're just going to get off on a tear and go crazy. Picking against you, I actually have the Ravens money line -105. That's a close one. So we'll see it's a toss up. Honestly, I don't know if I certainly believe that the Broncos are going to start the first quarter of the season undefeated. And lastly, hate to do it, I think you kind of agree with this, but Bucks -7.
I would throw the mortgage on it. Any single penny that you might have fits. I would throw it on the Bucks. And the transition into that topic. On my notes right here, I said free ball Bucks at Pats. I'm going to take a deep breath before I even talk about this. So if you watch Sunday Night Football, you saw that video montage of Adele, hello from the other side. Did I cry? I might have, right? I always say I cry over 3 things in life: friends, family, New England Patriots, football. I cried watching that. Now, there's one thing as to why I think Tom Brady's going to walk me to New England on Sunday night and absolutely destroy my New England Patriots. Brady does this thing whenever he loses by 10 or more. He puts his hands like this together, head down, right? He's a spiritual guy, right? That means whoever's the team next week is fucked, right? Brady is going to destroy New England this Sunday night. As much as I hate to say it, Gronk's not playing. I get it. Their secondary is not the greatest, but our offense is literally garbage. It's going to be emotional. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if he's going to do the run down the field, like, let's go sort of thing. I don't know. I hope the fans of New England, when he walks on the field for his first drive, stand up and give him his fucking credit where credit is due. 6 rings in 20 years. 9 AFC championships. A ton of memories at one Foxborough. I tweeted today. I said if the only chance New England has that they sack Tom Brady 10 times, which is not going to happen, or Tom Brady somehow gets COVID before the game. At that point, I still think they could beat us with their backups.
I did see your tweet earlier quoting the video of Tom Brady at his press conference today, and I watched it, and he did sound a little sick. I think it could play a factor. You never know how it goes. Obviously, if he had COVID, I think he would have already gotten taken out and been in protocol. But could you imagine if he actually had COVID right now? He gets taken out like the day before the game.
Yeah. So That would be a crazy hypothetical situation. This is going to be the most watched Sunday Night Football game ratings-wise for the first quarter.
For sure.
Until the Bucs are up like 21-0 off their first 3 drives, and we go 3 and out every single drive. And I am excited in a sense to see the chess match between Belichick and Brady, just because they know each other obviously very well. And everybody knows if you just go on any sort of media, what happened between them in the end. And it kind of just started in 2000. It started when Jimmy G got drafted. They put their personal issues aside and still went on to win 2 rings like that, right? So there was some sort of, cohesiveness in a way. Like, all right, we may not agree with a lot of things, but we agree on winning, right? Belichick said that Brady had better options in Tampa, better weapons, obviously. So he left. That's what happens when you draft N'Keal Harry. He fucking sucks. That's what happens when you draft N'Keal Harry. That's what happens when you can't land a draft pick. That's what happens when Antonio Brown gets cut. That's what happens when you have an injured Julian Edelman for his last few years. You don't want to be there anymore. You don't get help. Brady got the help that he needed or wanted and left. And I don't blame him for it. I love Tom. I respect everything he's done. He's my favorite athlete and probably my favorite human being of all time. That's why this game is so personal to him, to stick it and gut it to Belichick. I have the Bucs winning 34-12.
12? You thinking 4 field goals?
Yeah.
Really?
Dude, I have no hope. My family's coming into town legit to watch this game. The ticket prices went down like thousands of dollars. It's because New England isn't really that good. Everybody thought they're going to start off 3-0. We're 1-2. We lost to Jameis freaking Winston last week. Terribly. Showed no fight. That's what this team right now is. We have no fight. Only people I see that have fight on our team, Matthew Judon, Jacoby Myers, and Damian Harris. That is it. Everybody else is like they're walking through. Dante Hightower, where are you? Chase Winovich, where are you? Josh Uche, where are you? J.C. Jackson, I knew this would happen this season. Getting exposed. He is not the best cover corner on that team, and that goes to Stephon Gilmore, and we all freaking know that. We need Gilmore back. Much as I used to hate Stephon Gilmore, so I thought he was overpaid for what he was doing. But I just see the Bucs annihilating New England and Foxborough this Sunday, Fitz, and I agree with your pick, man. And if you have any questions, shoot away at me because I have answers.
I was just going to say, I think you hit on a good point. I mean, Brady is maybe not the most excellent quarterback ever, skill-wise, but his intensity and the way he works and all of that, it translates to success for the rest of the team. I mean, a lot of the Bucs players who were there for the years of Jameis, they even said the moment Brady steps in the room, you just act differently. And maybe for a while we thought that was Bill Belichick's whole thing. But I mean, you see the difference. The Patriots roster isn't that much different from when Tom had his last season there, and they were good. So you start to think about, well, was it Tom that motivated everyone and got them to play at a higher level? Because he's clearly shown to be able to do that in Tampa, who was not very good at all before he got there. And then you look at New England and you're like, maybe Bill isn't the reason why that they won all the – I mean, obviously he plays a big factor in it, but you see a massive difference between the two, and it just makes you think.
Exactly, bro. And I'm going to do a little impression right now. This is Belichick, right? In his meetings on Monday morning. All right, guys. So, Tom Brady, you didn't play that well this week. We won by 30 fucking points. Yada, yada, yada.
He cracked a joke the other day. Did you hear him? He walked in and he's like, anyone got any stories this week?
Yeah, and near the end of Brady's career, like his last 3 rings, that team was rallying around Tom more than they did Bill. And I want you, and this is why. There was this thing on Brady's, path to his 6th ring, and my sweatshirt I'm wearing. Everybody on the bench during the playoffs, you're too old. You are too old. Motivating that motherfucker. Did anybody want to motivate Bill? Did Bill ever motivate Tom? So, watching sound effects and inside the NFL and all that shit shows a lot, right? And I know Bill doesn't really like to get mic'd up, right? And Jules was always the man, and it's crazy, like Edelman's record being mic'd up. But that team rallied around Tom in his last few years in New England more than they did Belichick, because they knew who the real leader was in that locker room. And you are exactly right, Fitz. And it is so sad to see that we could not extend him. He wanted to retire in New England, and I know he did. Every great athlete wants to retire where they started, right? They want to build from the ground up. New England was a shit-ass franchise until Tom went there. 0-1, they started off 5-5. Didn't lose a game the rest of the season. 0-3, started off 2-2. Went on to the Super Bowl, beat the Carolina Panthers. 0-4, went on like a fucking 18-game win streak. Coming in to the season beforehand, got lost to the Steelers on a Sunday Night Football game in 0-4, and then went on to win the Super Bowl. 2014, everybody said New England was done at 2-2 after they got murdered by the Chiefs. Came back, wins the Super Bowl. 2016, down 28-3 against Belichick's Belichick's defense, right? No, I'm sorry, Matt Patricia's defense. Brady orchestrated a fucking comeback, 34-28. They lose the Super Bowl against Philly because they think it's a good idea to bench Malcolm Butler for showing up to the hotel high. Just cut him the next day. Last Super Bowl, Brady, I'll give that to Belichick. That was orchestrated greatly. But that team rallied around fucking Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady Jr. And there's one man you never bet against, and that is him. And that is why the Bucs are going, again, for like the 20th time, are going to destroy my New England Patriots. And we're going to go 1-3. Then we can go on to the Texans, probably win that, probably get destroyed by the Cowboys. Next thing you know, we're like a 7-10 team, and I'm lowering my expectations going in the next year as well. You know how, Fitz, you're in somewhat sales, being a financial advisor. I'm in sales. You always want to set your clients up for proper expectations. I'm going to lower those expectations now because this is a shit show. But if we win, holy moly, we're back. But it's not going to happen. So that's that.
Yeah, I think you're in a good spot because you kind of know, like you want Brady to do well, obviously. Like you said, he's like your favorite athlete person of all time. Like you want to see him succeed. But then again, it's against your favorite team. So yeah, you're right. Kind of either way, you don't lose because one of your favorite things is gonna come out a winner. And it doesn't really mean anything for the rest of the season. It's just one game. We kind of know where each team's futures are headed. So
yeah,
you just got to enjoy it, watch it all, soak it in, and whatever happens, happens.
I've been blessed for 20 years, man. I've been blessed. Now going into my true adult life, it's okay for me not to be blessed for 20 years, right? 6 rings, that's going to take a lot of franchises to get up to 6 rings, right? Just look at the Steelers. They've been stuck at 6 for 7 years now. Right?
Longer than that. They won in like 2011.
Oh, that's right. No,
11. Yeah, 10 years ago, something like that. Dude, it was a long time ago.
Oh my God.
When they beat the Cardinals in OT.
Yeah, I was in Tampa as a kid for that. Holy shit, that was a long time.
That Super Bowl was in Tampa?
Yeah, that Super Bowl was in Tampa.
I knew one of them was recently. I couldn't remember which one though. Damn, that was a good game.
Yeah, and like speaking of like win-win situations, obviously you're going to be down in Tampa for Gatsby, so will I, And you know how the NFL has 17 games, so everything got pushed a week. The NFC AFC Championship game is that weekend, so I will be in Tampa, expecting them to be in the NFC Championship game that Sunday, fly out Monday. But Fitz, you have any last remarks?
I don't think so, man. I appreciate you having me on. Love talking sports with you. We've been doing it for a long time, so it's nice to do it in kind of a formal setting, you know. And I wish your Patriots the best of luck on Sunday. I hope the Bears lose because I got the Lions plus 2.5. So, yeah, let's go.
999. Turn every negative a positive, right?
That's right. Yep. Hey, if the Bears are going to lose, I better win some money off of it. Okay.
I love it. All right, everybody. Like, subscribe, support in any way possible. This is the end of the episode. Everybody have a good football Sunday. Love y'all. Let's go. Thank you, Fitz.
Thank you for having me. See you, Bobo.
Deuce.